Hello everybody, this is Andy, and welcome to episode 29 of Omnifactory. I've never actually looked at these tools in the third person. They're kinda large. Huh, interesting. Anyways, a lot has happened in between the last episode and this episode. Well, not much has happened. A couple of extra things have been crafted, including the thrusters, or a couple of the thrusters, not including Fluxed and Dark Solarium thrusters. We will figure those out today. I've automated a bunch more stuff here. I've actually finished 2 more lines. I don't remember where I left last episode off, but it might have been like with not even this full thing used yet. Not entirely sure, but I can go ahead and shroud this because this is never getting touched again. Mainly down here, I just have like furnaces being crafted up automatically, thrusters, the things for the thrusters, some dynamos because those are necessary, and basically that's the only thing I truly automated between episodes. I also did shove a couple things down here so I can make money should I need it, because quartzite is something that I do not have a lot of, and I have to buy it every so often because I send off a lot of microminers because I need to basically fill up this drawer of 1,024 stacks of stellar creation data in order to finish the pack. So, we're using a lot of quartzite in those emitters or sensors or whatever it is. The one other thing that happened was grains of infinity. I set up this firewater that I just stole from our old firewater production, which is all the way over there. It doesn't exist anymore, so, but this is not producing enough grains of infinity it's not producing at the rate we need it to finish the pack. So I had to set up a thing over here that uses dispensers and flint and steels in order to produce me some more grains of infinity. Basically, I'm just ticking these dispensers every, 20-ish seconds, and they light a new fire if the fire's gone out. If there is a fire still there, it doesn't do anything. And then I'm just sending them back into the ME system. Basically, I'm just mechanical crafting flint and steels. This is not fully automated. I still have to craft the nuggets and flint by hand, but I've crafted up so many we shouldn't ever have to worry about it. I think my main goals today are to get the warp engine completely auto-crafted, at least maybe up to like 64 at a time or so. I think I'll put a drawer downgrade because I don't want to craft 2,000 of these and then never really use them. I'm okay with having 64 sitting around, not necessarily 2,000. And then I want to start thinking about automating. Well, I don't want to start. I want to automate tier 3 and tier 4 and begin potentially the process of auto crafting these tier 7s, tier 8s, tier 9s, and tier 10s automatically. First things first, though, I need to start auto crafting or background crafting Flux thrusters and Dark Solarium thrusters. So I'm going to set these up and I'll be back in just a minute and we can start making these warp engines. Actually, before I do that, I do want to show off one more thing. If you don't know, the bounty board is a thing you can use in order to get omnicoins. And omnicoins are useful because they let you buy stuff. So I set up these 2 ME interfaces that they're not auto crafting. They don't craft on demand. Whenever I notice something is out, I do have to request it manually, because crafting cards are very, very bad and terrifying. But what I can essentially do is pick all of my stuff out here if it's full, and go over here, say, just, not say anything, just turn in the bounties. I usually don't have any issues, and I can just, unless the bounty expires, that's not very cool. Bye-bye, and just make a ton of money. The reason I need this is because quartzite is something we need a ton of. It was one of those things that I ran out of in the last couple of videos, so every now and then I need to come over to here, say I want some quartzite ore, and just pay for it. It's 10 omni coins per, and I'll just buy a couple inventories full. If you check in here, I am fairly rich. I have a couple of $1,000, so yeah. And whenever I'm done, I can just throw my junk back into the system, and it goes back into here. That's pretty good. I think this is the best way to do it without crafting cards. Well, without crafting cards and without hating your life automating the processing of every single one of these just for omnicoins, because that's kind of dumb. Alright, I've done the thing. I now am auto-crafting the Dark Solarium right here. I'm also auto-crafting Flux Thrusters with the glowstone elevation units are being crafted both over there and over here on a ZPM one, because this one is much faster. This is an incredibly slow process. We have a big backlog though, so we should be just about fine. Also, warp controllers being crafted right here, and I have 2 stacks available to me at any given time. Maybe I'll up this later, but for now this is good. And over here, as you can see, I've set up the 3 large microverse projectors we're going to need to automate all 3 of the large microverse recipes that we're going to use. The other large microverse projector recipes outside of the 3 that I need are all resource based, and we have effectively infinite resources with this thing. So yeah, that's these. I've also set up 4 of these media microverse projectors. I did the calculations. I think I'm only going to need 1 of them, but I'm going to leave them set up because it makes my base look busier, and I want this place to look full. So now I've got everything fully automated with the exception of the reinforced mining laser for the tier 3 and well, not the tier 4 yet. I still have a couple things left in here, but they're all very, very simple. What I'm going to do next is set up 22 more assembly lines. I don't know if I'm going to need them all, but I thought it would be very cool looking to have a whole side full of assembly lines. Alright, and there is 21 extra assembling lines for a total of 24. They're all hooked up to these packagers and unpackagers on the AE system. Should I choose to use them for on-demand crafting? However, I think most of these, if not like all of them, are going to be used for passive crafting of things we need for microminers. I also went ahead and automated the reinforced mining laser, and then I can use this. This was the last thing I needed to automate in order to make the tier 3 and almost tier 4 microminers. So why don't we do the tier 3 microminer together? So in order to set up background crafting for these type of things, I'm actually using the automation interface on the normal extended crafting tables instead of using the fancy ones we have over here, the advanced package crafters, because these can only be used for, at least how I see it, what is it called? On-demand crafting. These can be set up to just accept items from inventory and then shove them directly into here and craft if it can store the thing. So this one is shoving items from this inventory coming from this IMI interface and putting them into this crafting table, crafting, and then outputting them here, and then they're getting extracted by a conduit into here. So what I need to do is make all of the items necessary for the craft available in this IMI interface, and then I take this limited item filter, say you can have a maximum of a stack in the chest up here. The reason I'm using a chest up here is because the automation interface actually doesn't like using an IMI interface to pull items into. As you can see, I've set up chests for all of the automation interfaces that I've had in the past. I'll just dump the first set of items into here. Wait, actually I can't do that yet. I need to set the recipe in here using that, and then I click right here, save recipe, and there, it automatically crafts it for us. And since our chest is facing the east, I need to tell it to auto-insert from the east, and it should begin auto-inserting the recipe into the crafting table if I allowed this to extract and insert into here. As you can see, items are going in the left here and getting shoved into here. For now, I'll just dump all this extra stuff back into the IMI network, and eventually it'll get used for this process. The last thing is to use a conduit to extract from it. You could use the auto export. It does have an option for that. However, I've come to learn that this thing will void items if you don't extract from it on your own. So I tend to not use that. I just need a little couple bits of conduit and just set it like that and extract on green, insert on green, and it should go right into there. Okay, now that there's an item in there, I can lock the drawer and set a storage bus right on the back here. And this is how I'm going to do auto crafting for these elite extended crafting or any of the extended crafting tables. The first couple, it's going to take a minute to fill in the entire recipe, but after that, it'll craft one of these the microminers and then shove in all the entire items recipe again, so it'll have 63 in here, and then it'll just bring it up to 64 and then do another craft. So the first one takes the longest, the rest of them take not as long. Next up is I'm going to need a microverse projector for the tier 3 microminers. The tier 4s will go into one of these bad boys, the tier 3s have to go here. And here is the microverse projector. This guy is going to, like I've said, send off the tier 3s. However, I'm also going to limited item filter this guy. So let's do this, and it shouldn't need a... I did put 64 in this limited item filter, so it's going to take a little bit longer to fill up the first time, but it's almost done. So as soon as it sends that gemstone sensor into there, it should do its thing. Right? Surprise, surprise, your machines don't work if you don't plug them in. Let me do this. I'm so fast now, it's kind of crazy. I've gotten used to it pretty good, but like, still not perfect. And it should be progressing, and we automatically shove another one in there. I think I'm going to craft these faster than I'll use them, at least at the moment. Eventually we'll hit backlog though. The main things I want from this microminer are the exquisite emeralds and the exquisite diamonds. These diamonds are used to make diamond lattices, I think? No, wait, no, this is a fluid solidifier recipe. We don't need the exquisite diamonds. We need exquisite emeralds for this thing to make engraved crystal chips, crystal CPUs, crystal socks, and then crystal circuits, the tier 5 circuits. I need a lot of these because these are used in the IV machines. And it looks like they're also used all over the place in the assembly line, so I'm going to need a lot of them. Apparently, from this bad boy, the only thing that I need is these exquisite emeralds. So they're getting storage bust here, and then they'll shove into this interface right here, which will shove them into the blast furnace and put them into our circuit processing system, which is doing its thing. I did notice that it pretty much backed up on making these wetware circuit boards. We're going to need a lot of these. But I don't have any dragon eggs, and I can't get any dragon eggs until I can send off the tier 7? Yeah, this one. But that's an issue for later. I'm going to backstuff one of these drawers, which means 1024, no. They're not 64 stacks, they're 16 stacks, which means 512, I think. That should be enough of a backlog that we never produce slower than we consume, I think, maybe. Thinking about it though, I might just shove one of these on there. That will allow a lot more than 512. You know, I didn't ever fully expect to fill up all of these mechanical crafters. Or I guess I did, but I didn't expect it to go so fast. Like, this is like 40 to 50 mechanical crafters, and now I'm going to have to make a second layer? Gosh dang. I'm not sure if it was a good look to make it a squat layer that barely fits the drawer controllers under it. But it's too late now, the layer is built. Also, I'm not entirely sure if I've shown how I'm automating these guys over here. It's fairly simple. Basically, I'm exposing the machine to the item it needs with enemy interface. I'm then using a conveyor right on this side right here. You just kind of slap it on. Do I not? Oh, I didn't put the conveyor on yet. Yes, slap it on, and then you tell it to import, and then it imports that. If it needs a fluid, I provide it with a creative tank with some extract speed upgrades into the face, and then it makes the thing. And the thing gets auto output into a drawer, which I always place down locked because there are a lot of things entering and leaving my ME system, and I don't want them to get jammed into unlocked drawers. So I'll let this backlog, and since this drawer controller is storage bust, it's already available to the system. These mechanical crafters are done much the same. I expose the guy to the things it needs through the ME interface, and then I just put the first batch in here, tell it to make the thing for me, and it will auto-pull from the ME interface to make the thing once this stuff runs out. And then just shove it into a drawer. I have to use conduits for these because these things don't auto-output. I make sure I disconnect this and change these adjacent ones to separate colors, and then put the first one in there, and it's exposed to the ME system, and it should just work. And I believe that was actually the last recipe I needed to automate in order to fully automate the tier 4 microminer. So let's go set this up. And I went ahead and set up this system right here and let it run overnight. If you can tell, my voice is a little crunchy because I just woke up a couple minutes ago. But I now have 134k dense diamond, 33k dense emerald, some dense lapis, dense coal, dense redstone, stuff we all need to process, or at least some of it we need to process. I've also managed to backstuff both my tier 3 rockets and tier 4 rocket chests, So it looks like we're producing them faster than we can use them, which is really, really good. For processing purposes, I went ahead and set up 5 of these chemical reactors with nitric acid, and as soon as I wrench these guys to the top, things should start pouring in, and we'll start producing the normal ore out of the dense ore. So let's wrench these all up on top here, and I'm going to process a couple of these further. The emerald and the, not the lapis, I'll just smelt that directly, and the diamond. So I'm going to need to set up a baby ore processing system for that, but for now, let's just store them in some drawers, take the output and shove them in the drawers, and I'm going to upgrade these drawers as high as they can go, and then void a couple of them. And there we go. I actually am not going to void any of these. I'm going to let these back stuff to 7,000 stacks. I have voids in a couple of these that I don't want to keep all of it in here. So if we ever back stuff on emeralds or diamonds, that's fine with me. We'll back stuff on diamonds first, I believe, but then it'll just start backing up into here and the machine will stop running. We can see that in action over here in our small microverse projector. As you can see, this chest is quite full, and this thing is quite full. It doesn't have enough room to put the outputs, so it doesn't run. I'm going to come back to processing these guys further later, but for now, I'm just going to turn it off so I don't get the lag from the drawers, and let's move on to automating the Tier 7 Microminer. Alright, I'm going to be honest, I don't know when the last clip was recorded. It's been like a week since I've recorded this series. I've done a little bit of stuff. Did these exist last time I recorded? I don't remember. I put up a couple of these bad boys, and I set them up to be automated. I also went ahead and ordered a bunch of the miners to get a bunch of chaos shards because I went ahead and did all the easy crafting, but I want to get the creative RF source as soon as possible because this thing produces like 2-point-something billion RF, and a lot of the automation we're about to do is going to suck energy, and I want to run it as fast as possible. As you can see, we're down into the red essentially. The major thing that I did in between clips was automate a couple of these assembly lines. So down here, as you can see, I'm automatically supplying some items through the interfaces, and I'm creating emitters and neuro processing units and the field generators. I need to automate 2 more things with assembly lines, and I think I'm good. I've decided I'm going to order Hearts of the Universe on demand, but automate up to pretty much everything up to tier 7 and tier 8, so I can do them fast. The things that I did automate in between clips will actually involve filling up this entire 3rd layer here, and I've decided I'm not going for a 4th. I'm just going to go ahead and make another one over here. I don't think this thing's going to get filled up, but it exists, so it can be used. You haven't really missed much. I mean, it's been a lot of this just like automating stuff by throwing it into here. That's not what I want. I want this one, and then it'll go into this thing, and eventually it will get turned into the thing that it needs to turn into. This one actually probably needs a couple of extract speed upgrades in this conduit, and it should go a little bit faster. Yeah, it makes these things, and then I take them out, and then I throw them into that, and it's on the system. Passively automating things is not very interesting to watch. Maybe I'll play this series again eventually and like stream it or something, but you don't want to watch this, I promise. It's just a ton of configuring conduits and putting fluids in creative tanks and then putting wires in assemblers. It's not very cool. And with this creative tank, we should now have these emitters automated, and they're going. That's going to back up a bunch of these systems because it actually uses the LUV emitters, but eventually it'll back stuff, and it might take a day, but it will do the job. I think a lot of these weird quirks are fixed in the dev version, which I'm not playing because it hasn't been officially released yet, and I think I'm going to finish this pack in the current version of the thing. Maybe I'll play dev eventually because I know there's a lot of changes. But some of these plates are just weird, and they can't be compacted in the GregTech compactor, which is really annoying. One of those things is titanium. So here we go. We have this fluid solidifier, and it looks like just the conduit without any upgrades is fast enough. And with these last 5 machines in place, I believe we're pretty much ready to, well, wait first. But I do have the ZPM wait, what are they called? Field generators automated, and given some time, they will stack up 256, which means we can send off 256 tier 8 microminers at a time because they use one each. I'm going to go ahead and let these machines run for a bit, and I'll come back later today and we can set up some more fusion crafting injectors and hopefully try to get the creative RF source by the end of the episode. The main issue is this. This recipe just looks stupid and annoying, but I'll do it. Alright, it's been a week since the last clip, and I have ordered quite a few chaos shards. Oh my god. Wait. I had 4,000 chaos shards. They're just gone, I guess. I guess my calculations were wrong. Anyways, I also set up a little bit more infrastructure right here, and this is for crafting the stuff required for the tier 10 microminer. So now I've added the recipes necessary to order the hearts of the universe. Basically, this is the only thing left to set up, with the exception of putting the recipes where they need to go. So I also, about 24 hours ago, went ahead and ordered 64 hearts of the universe, which it's getting there. It sent off some of the tier 9 microminers, but we haven't sent any tier 10s yet. I need more wetwares, so yeah. I'm going to go ahead and get back to you when these 64 hearts of the universe are fully done crafting, and we can get on to making that infinite power source. Oh, I did also turn all of the walls white and all of the ceiling the gray thing. I don't know if I like how it looks, but I think it looks a lot cleaner than it used to. There will be more decorations soon. You know what, guys? I've actually come to a conclusion. You've been spoiled rotten for cliffhangers in this series. You have, like, none of them. So I've decided this video's over. You have to wait until next time to get any creative items. We'll get into creative items next time, and hopefully by the beginning of recording the next video, I will have 64 hearts of the universe to work with. In the grand scheme of things, we still need around 320. I did this calculation in between clips, but, you know, it's a start. It's a very good start, too. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. Maybe leave a like if you did, but have a fantastic day, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Bye-bye.